Lotos LTP5000D plasma cutter. Okay, I picked this up for about $300 on newegg.com a couple days ago. I guess they were having some kind of sale or something on it, some type of promo. Usually it retails for about $400 to $500, and so I got a pretty good discount on that. The LT5000D, you can usually pick it up for about $400. If you're lucky, you can find it for about $300. Just depends on where you look. I think Amazon had it last week for $350. So you just kind of have to look around, and especially since it's December, it's about to be Christmas. You can usually find pretty good deals on stuff like this. So let's see if we can give this $300 plasma cutter a shot. I don't have a tripod or anything yet, so just bear with me on this cell phone. Obviously this is made in China, so it's not going to be anything special. Got an air hose, really basic stuff. It's probably the air regulator, the air filter, something like that. Ground clamp. Pretty nice looking ground clamp too, it ain't too bad. There's our actual torch and cable there. We'll check that out here in a second. What else we got in here? Consumables, some hose clamps, electrode, no. We'll see. We'll sort that out in a second. Book, and that's it. Alright. First impressions, this thing is pretty damn small. A lot smaller than I thought, which is good. I like small stuff, you know, it's easier to deal with. And I'm probably going to put it on here somewhere. Just build a shelf in my weld cart, just put it on there. See if we can get this plastic off. This thing is tiny. Well, they say big things come in small packages, so hopefully we can get something big out of this. Quality control tag. It's always good, at least to have some type of quality control. Okay. The difference between the LTP5000D and the LT5000D is that the LT5000D does not have a pilot arc. If you're not familiar with what a pilot arc is, just look it up, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, the LTP5000D does have a pilot arc, and it makes life a little bit easier, trust me. It's been probably 6 or 7 years or more since I've used the plasma cutter. So I'm a little rusty, but I know what they are and I know how to use them, and that's all that matters. So I'm going to put this on pause and get some of this other stuff out of the bags. Alright. Pulled the main lead out with the torch on the end of it. It's a pretty decent sized lead. I'll say it's probably about 10 feet long. It's pretty nice. Here we have the torch, or the gun, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's got like a a little metal piece to help you drag it across, because I doubt for $300 this has a drag tip. So when you put it on your piece you're working on, see how you can drag it, and it leaves to be about an eighth of an inch between the surface and the contact tip there. So it's kind of nice that they at least put that on there. Alright, had to run to the store real quick to get some connectors. Okay, the power cable connector that comes on this, it's a L6-30R. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of a funky connector. I don't know if they're hard to find or what, but I had a hard time finding one at the store. So the problem is that this won't fit into my 220 I got over here, which is kind of a 3-blade style that you see on like dryers and stuff like that. It's pretty common, but my solution to the problem, which is going to be a double whammy, is I'm going to make a little extension cord out of some Romex here. This is 12-2, 2 conductor, 1 ground Romex. And I've got the 3-blade style to plug into the wall, and the L6-30R coupler to put on the power cable coming out of that. And that's probably about, I don't know, 6-7 feet of Romex there. So it's gonna give me some reach from the wall socket over there. So I'll be able to use it pretty much about where it's at right now in my working area here. So I'm gonna throw that together and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. It took a little bit longer than I thought, but here's what we got. Got an extension cord that's about 10 feet long or so. Those two pieces that cost me about $20 at Roll King. Yeah, it worked out pretty good though. I tested it. Everything looks good. And here we go. Unit power's on. Check that out. I'm just glad it wasn't dead on arrival. Alright. One thing I will note that I've looked at it is that the ground clamp isn't that long. It's probably about 6 feet. Compared to the actual torch lead, which is probably about 10 feet. So there's about 4 feet of difference there. Not a big deal. It don't really bother me. This looks, the actual connector here, it looks like a standard welding connector. Maybe if you've got another machine that might take that, you can just swap them out or something. But yeah, everything looks good. But that's all the hookups on the front there. Alright. Where were we over here? Pretty much all that's left is getting the air hooked up, which should be pretty easy. Right, in this little box is the air filter / regulator. And let's see what we got here. Alright. Okay. Pressure gauge. Pretty nice looking, I guess. Nothing fancy. We got the electrode, some hose fittings, another tip, and the little cup thing that goes on the end there. So it does come with a set of consumables besides what's already on the torch there. So that's pretty nice of them to do that. So it's kind of hard for me to do this one-handed, so I'm just going to stop the video and hook all this up and show you what it's like. Just a quick note. It comes with 2 electrodes, 2 tips, and one of the cups. Okay, the cups should last a while, so that's why they didn't put 2 more in there. So it's actually got 3 sets of consumables. Pretty nice. The hose fittings, comes with 2 in the bag, 4 little hose clamps, and it's got 1 hose fitting on the back of the machine already. So to hook it up to your air source, you're going to have to get another fitting to go into the tube, or you could have it connected right to your regulator here with a screw-in fitting. I'm not going to do that just because the weight of the air hose will cause this to kind of bend. It looks kind of cheap and I don't want to break it. So I'm going to cut this hose a little bit and just have some air hose coming out of this, possibly, and we'll go from there. I'll show you here in a minute, so just stand by. Alright, I got the air system hooked up in the back. Let's take a look at it. Got our quick disconnect to the air hose running into the air filter / regulator, coming out of that and into the back of the machine. Pretty simple. That air hiss is coming from my couple here. It's not from the fitting itself. It does that from time to time, no big deal. There we go. Cheap Harbor Freight couplings, by the way. Can't beat them for the price. A little bit of an air hiss every now and again, but no big deal. So, let's revert to the manual. See how much air this thing needs. Look at that, right on the front page. Connect the machine gas inlet on the back of the machine to an air compressor. Set the air pressure to 65 to 70 psi. Alright. Let's see what we got. Okay. Right there. Right there, about on 70. Alright. So I guess technically, in theory, this bad boy's ready to go. So I'm gonna get ready, get some material, and go from there. See you in a second. Okay, here we go, the moment of truth. I'm gonna try to get all this in the shot as much as possible without getting my phone too close. Got the machine on. Oh, I shouldn't be making that noise, that's for sure. happened there? Damn, did y'all see that? Well, good news. It cuts. It cut pretty well. It's a 1/4 inch material there. It cut right through it, but somehow or another, this fucking happened. So I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board on this. Yeah, I just snipped it, put a new little ring on it, put it back on the ground, put some tape around it, and let's try this again. Okay. Back again. Back again. Went to Royal King, spent about $25. Got a 6-foot piece of welding lead. I reused the old connector, just unscrewed the Allen key that was in there. Stripped and put the new cable end in there, tightened it down. Put some electronic tape on it. Did the same to the clamp. Got a new clamp, by the way. Brand new, a little more durable, more clamp force. And put the connection on there as well with some electrical tape. So we're going to try this again. We're going to try this again, boys. Alright. Okay. It doesn't have the plastic piece on it anymore, so I'm going to have to do a little something like this. A little something. Okay, it's good enough. Also, took the flap disc to the metal, get a better ground. Get this shit out of the way. Fuck you, Made in China. Alright. Moment of truth. I don't know if I've already already set up. I'm going to note that whenever the cable was burning up like that, I had it on 50 amps. I started on 30. It was cutting, but it wasn't really cutting that well. So I bumped it up to 50. That's when I started having issues. Obviously, you saw what happened. So I'm going to tune it back down to 30 and gradually move up to 50. And we're just going to see what happens. Okay. 40. It's not really cutting well on 30. Alright. The clamp lead doesn't feel hot at all. So I'm going to do some more passes and see what we can get. I bumped it up to 50, by the way. I hope if I have another glove on. Pretty good, solid cuts. Okay. Cable's not hot. It's a good sign. Real good sign. So I guess I eliminated that problem altogether. That's good. Really nice cut. Really nice. You don't get much straighter than that. Good luck trying to do that with a torch unless you got years of experience. Like I said, I ain't touched a plasma cutter in 7 years or so. And just picking it up and doing this, not a problem. $300, it's rocking and rolling, son. So despite the problems I had with my ground cable, I'm still going to give it a solid 7 out of 10 for price to performance ratio. You can't beat it. It's a small, compact unit. It cuts 1/4 inch fine. I priced some other plasma cutters, some off-brand names similar to the Lotos. They had pretty decent reviews, but they were also $700, $800, and finding this for $300, man, you can't beat that. Name brand plasmas can run more than $1,000 easy. I've seen some go upwards to $2,000. Obviously, those machines can cut material up to 2 inches thick with a really high duty cycle. I don't know how well the duty cycle is on this. I'm assuming it's pretty bad, but I don't know. I just made that cut and it didn't even seem like it flinched. So, solid 7 out of 10. If you have any questions or anything, just hit me up on YouTube. I don't get on very often, but I keep my phone logged in, so I'll get any message or anything you want to send me. If you have any questions or comments, just hit me up in the comment section below. And if you have any advice, or if you know what exactly was going on with the clamp and the cable there, I'm sure it was my fault. I don't want to put the blame 100% on Lotos. I've just never seen something like that happen, and I've used plasmas before on rusty metal like this without, grinding the rust off. It obviously had a good connection because it was arcing to begin with, but maybe the connection just wasn't strong enough, and that would be my bad. So the situation has been taken care of. The plasma cutter's working. It's working really well, actually. So anyways, just subscribe. I'll be posting more reviews in the future. I don't know when, but just whenever I get the time to do it. I might do a review on this welder I got here too, so look forward to that. And a bunch of the other stuff in my shop. I got a little bit of stuff I need to review. So that's it. You have a good day. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.